I don't even like wine, but guess what? You're gonna like it. I need some cheese.
What's up, guys? Barnabas, aka Mac and Cheese, bringing you just the tips. Black Ops 2 is around the corner, and I don't know, maybe less than 2 weeks. And there's a new class system for us to kind of think about or talk about. I've been under a rock for a while, so I haven't really been researching or looking into any of this stuff, but I just started looking into it to kind of prepare myself. And I thought this was really cool, and you guys probably already know a lot of this stuff, but in this video I want to talk about my strategy going forward when I'm setting up my classes. Because obviously we've got new wild cards, score streaks, and what do you call it? Different ways to put attachments on our gun that make them very unique. So I'm going to let David Vonderhaar kind of explain this stuff through one of these videos that he did, so you guys can get the gist of it, and then I'll pop right back and we'll get into some class setups and things like that.
If you're just tuning in, you're seeing a lot of new features that likely require a bit of explanation. So let me give you the quick recap. With the new created class in Black Ops 2 multiplayer, we're putting the power back into the hands of a player to customize for his play experience. We give you 10 points, and you can use those points to allocate in any way in which you will be successful in the field. In fact, you don't even have to take content from a particular category of content if you don't want to. You can forgo a particular weapon, maybe your secondary, and then use that point somewhere else. For example, an extra perk. And with the wild cards, you can bend and extend and break the rules for even greater customization and flexibility. Let me tell you about score streaks. Score streaks replace kill streaks. And here's how this works. Anything you do in the game that earns you score is helping you earn your rewards. Every score streak has its score requirement. Therefore, there's no strict mutual exclusivity. In fact, you can earn 2 rewards in a single scoring event. Using score allows us to reward players for playing the objective and helping their team win. Now, you don't even have to be a Slayer, a guy with a high KD ratio. But it doesn't hurt either, because getting kills also earns you score. Weapons and attachments have changed in a pretty significant way in Black Ops 2. We're using the 2025 time period as inspiration for all sorts of new gadgets and technologies that we can put back in the hands of a player. And the attachments are particularly interesting because this is the only way you're going to be able to modify the behavior of a weapon. For example, the laser sight actually is visualized on the gun, so you can see when someone is doing work to you at close range, firing from the hip. The MMS is a really good example of an attachment where you actually send a pulse wave through the world and can detect people. It's a rusher's tool. You will see them when they're stationary and through smoke. You can use that in a standoff battle and take that guy down. So that's a very brief overview of our core gameplay systems.
All right, guys, so there's a lot of information in there in terms of the new setup, but what I thought was really cool is this score streak. So that's going to make people play the objective a lot more, and it's going to hopefully bring a little bit more competitiveness to the game, and it's going to allow, and you're going to get into a team with randoms, and hopefully they'll be more inclined to play the objective and not kill whore trying to get their kill streaks and things like that. So I thought that was really, really cool. The next thing that they kind of have in there is these wild cards. Since your weapons are very unique now in terms of what attachments you put on them and how that does not go through character to character using perks, and now it's gun specific. I thought that was really cool. So, primary gunfighter is going to allow you to modify your primary a lot more. Perks 1, 2, and 3 of greed is going to allow you to put a second perk in that perk slot. Things like that is really, really cool, but these also cost points, so bear that in mind. So when I get started, what I'm kind of thinking about with my first class is I want to be a little bit stealthy. I want to stay off the mini-map as much as possible. So I'm going to use a suppressor, and I'm going to use UAVs and counter UAVs as much as I can, because not only do I want to stay off the radar, but I want to help my teammates stay off the radar, or at least give them a more of an awareness of where the opposing team is at. And those are very easy score streaks to get very on, and I don't want to get frustrated or start hunting down other higher end kill streaks or score streaks without getting comfortable with the game. So I'm going to keep it simple there. I've got hardline, I've got ghost, anything that can keep me off the radar. I don't really need a secondary, because basically what I would do is after I get one kill, I go over there and grab that guy's secondary gun and also use his secondary gun, see what he's using, and see what sort of attachments I like and don't like from other people's setups, things like that. So that's kind of my first class. Second class is very, very similar, except I just have an anti-air on it. So I can switch between those two classes if I want the anti-air or if I don't. I'm also then probably going to just be trying out a couple different perks, but there's nothing too crazy about it. The only other thing that I'm kind of trying with this class is I'm trying the tactician in the wild card spot so that I can use more tactical grenades, because I'd rather have less lethal grenades until I get more comfortable and I'm playing domination game types and I'm learning grenade spots and things like that. I want to be a little bit more tactical. I'm going to be a little bit slower moving around the map until I get a feel for the layout of all the maps and you know, all the sweet little head glitchy spots and things like that. So from the get-go, I'm just going to try and start off to be a little bit more tactical, and that's where my head is kind of at. Once I get a little bit more comfortable, then I'll kind of create another Slayer class where I'm just kind of playing around with you know, different guns and things like that, where I'm feeling like I don't necessarily have to hide or need a suppressor to try and be a little bit more stealthy. So that one kind of just opens things up a little bit more. And you know, to be honest, this probably isn't set in stone. It was probably just a basics that I was kind of playing around with in order to think, okay, what is going to be a little bit more Slayer, where I'm going to need more ammunition, I'm going to have higher kill streaks, and I'm going to need more. I'm going to use my tactical grenades and dexterity and things like that. Just trying different perks out, things like that. But overall, guys, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. You know, I'm trying to think strategically. Check out my next video. It's also going to give us some reminders on, you know, how to move around the map strategically, what we should all probably already know or have in our head, but just good reminders, and also some cool little things that I've been picking up in some of the videos that I've been watching. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the video once again. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and yeah, appreciate you guys' support. Take it easy.